As you look down on this beautiful planet, you cannot help but be aghast with wonder. But as a global pandemic took over the world, the humans began to hide, safe and sound. As the humans hid, the animals began to emerge back into nature. Join me as we watch them in their daily lives, as we watch them thrive. As we journey to every corner of the planet, we watch these magnificent creatures closer than ever before, as they inhabit new evolution, as they learn, adapt, and evolve. The Animal Kingdom. Hibernation. An act in which animals like this bear are able to sleep for months on end. Some of these creatures forget their special hiding places, so they end up hungry and angry. Hangry, if you will. Like this one. Poor creature. She will probably starve to death within the hour. Now we move on to observe more domesticated creatures, known more commonly as pets. And we start this adventure with the hijinks of a hamster as it explores the household on a hunt for food. Meerkat. Observant, aware. Our little furry friend has spotted its prey. Some raisins. Now we watch as it braves the great chasm before it. Now we can observe. As it approaches the food, it stores the raisins in its cheeks for later. Probably the most famous pet, the house cat. Although smaller and domesticated, some would argue that the house cat is still as mischievous as its bigger, more deadly cousins. The magnificent elephant, a most beautiful creature gaining Vimto-flavoured sustenance by its watering hole. But soon afterwards, the house cat can use its heightened senses to realize its territory is being invaded while it feeds. It watches and waits. And finally, let's watch as a stilt. An elegantly tall bird begins its nighttime routine. And as nighttime shrouds the day, the pigs come out to play.
So I came home on Thursday, March 19. Didn't think I'd be stuck at home in quarantine for this long. I felt like causing a tantrum. But then I realised that I am not the only one. So then I thought, what can I do to stay positive? And block out the prerogative that the rich folk can get tested and keep on profiting while the lower class are vomiting, stuck in poverty, struggling to stay healthy with all this corona dominance. I know that everybody struggles to keep their mental health in check, and everyone's got troubles and everyone needs cuddles. So stay close with your family, hold them tight through the night and the day and you'll be alright. R.I.P. to our fallen soldiers battling with this illness. One day when I get older, I'll make them proud and make them smile. Just wish that they could stay here for a longer while. But instead of me making a difference now, I'm stuck up in my room playing PS4, and on Fortnite we don't get bored. A coping mechanism? Well, yeah, of course. I stopped myself from thinking maybe is there more? But I know the truth. I've seen the whole world come together through social media and on Zoom. We stay forever learning, observing. My lecturers don't want to close the curtain. I guess Corona reminded me of my purpose sooner than I expected, but I'm certain. And I ain't nervous. I'm excited. So this fire lit inside of me has been ignited. So I'ma stay righteous while these nurses are fighting. To stay home and stay safe is what I have decided. It's not been easy, but we'll get through this. I thank the people who never gave up on me because now they are witness. My lockdown experience has been a madness. Now let's just see what God has in store. So far, I call this progress.
I feel like this is going to be really depressing. But oh well.
So, I'm just going to talk a bit about my lockdown experience. Again, because I just did this whole video with the camera facing the wrong way. First stage was denial.
Obviously, you know, it's quite annoying when you're being hopeful, surrounded in a sea of negativity, because there's a lot of people who are saying that's it, that's lockdown, before it had even been announced. I guess denial would be the word to use.
I suddenly realised that this could be it for my degree, and that this coronavirus is real, and that it is taking a huge effect on people, and that it is going to be devastating for a lot of people.
I was very positive about the situation. I was quite naive, I think.
So when things started to sort of go downhill, I was like, I need to get home. My brain just went like into disaster movie zone, and I was like, if it's gonna be the apocalypse, I want to be on the Isle of Man at home.
I felt weirdly good. I think as well, what kind of helped me with that is I didn't think it would last this long. I spent a solid day watching videos about statistical anomalies in sport because, you know, that's fun.
Yeah, it was actually one of the best times I had at uni because I just got to like hang out with my mates all day and not really have to worry about stuff. But there was always like this looming thing. I think the turning point for me was when we got that email saying that our London shows and our showcase and everything was just definitely 100% not happening at all.
I experienced all the different things everyone else is experiencing in relation to this course being over. I feel cheated, I feel angry, I feel sad. I feel sad at what could have been. I feel sad I didn't get the finale that I wanted, that I just knew would have been fucking amazing. With a group of people that I adore and I cherish and I think so highly of. It would have been one of the best experiences of my life to run a play with these people who mean so much to me in London for a week. It just would have been phenomenal.
So I then went through something I've never really been through before, where I would wake up in the morning thinking the whole thing was a nightmare, and I'd wake up and realise it wasn't. And I would just cry, lie there and cry.
You know, parents and whatnot saying, you know, everyone's in the same boat, you know, it could be worse. And I get that, yeah, 100% could be, you know, unhealthy. That's the important thing. But, you know, I think we're allowed to be, you know, disappointed.
I isolate myself anyway, especially when I'm feeling bad. And it's very weird that I now have to legally do that.
There was just one day that it finally hit me. I had a FaceTime with my sister while I was still at uni, and her and my dad were saying that I needed to bring everything back, and I was like, oh, like no. That was kind of breaking point for me.
But then is it like, as it became very clear that we were going to be staying like this for longer, I started hating myself for what I've been doing before. Yeah, what kind of hit me was how alone I felt.
Because, you know, uni's been like, it's been the best 3 years of my life. It's been brilliant. And, you know, absolutely loved it, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
There's this poem which I've kind of been thinking of a lot ever since this started, and it's really helped me. Maybe if I don't know, maybe it will help some of you. Okay, it's by this poet called Judah Halevi, who was this like Spanish philosopher, doctor, something in the like 1100s. It's called "'Tis a Fearful Thing." 'Tis a fearful thing. 'Tis a fearful thing to love what death can touch. A fearful thing to love, to hope, to dream, to be. To be and all to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing. A holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me. Your laugh once lifted me. Your word was gift to me. To remember this brings painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love. A holy thing to love what death has touched.
Here we have the gorilla, who has made use of all the extra time in lockdown to perfect a new skill. We see him putting the final touches on his piece de resistance. And I must say, what a beautiful piece of art that is. isolating in another part of the country as a spider monkey, making the most of its daily exercise. The gorilla, staying in the safety of the trees to avoid a vicious predator. Hopefully she doesn't see us. Oh, shit. And finally, the sloth, who at the moment is still a bit sleepy. Still sleepy. And now we have movement. Probably thinking about what beverage he'd like to drink this morning. Personally, I'd suggest a coffee.
I just want to go on holiday, but instead I've had to spend all May indoors. I really want to go on holiday, but I'm not allowed to stray away from being indoors. I'd love to be swimming and sweating and singing and drinking daiquiris all day on holiday, but I have to stay indoors. I just really want to graduate, but I think I'll have to wait a while. Indoors, I really, really want to graduate, as I'm beginning to hate all this remaining indoors. I'd love to be drinking and dancing and throwing my cap into the sky with mates as I graduate, but I have to stay indoors. I'm getting sick of this quarantine, mainly because I can't get away from my family. I'm literally making a video. Oh, sorry. I really want to read a book today, and I can because I have to stay indoors, and I have the time to paint today. The stress might start to go away as I stay indoors. nice to be reading and rhyming and resting and doing things in my own way. It's okay to spend some time indoors.
I don't know what to say because it's been difficult. I can't really sleep. I can't eat. And I really, really, really miss my friends. Because when I'm around them, I kind of, I feel like a real person, and I feel like who I am is okay.
All the people that do care and that would share in that sadness and heartbreak with me weren't here, and we were all separate, and that was hard because we just all wanted to be together and like mourn the loss of that together.
And I was willing to pay whatever amount of money I had to pay to just fly to the UK and see some of my friends or see whoever I could, or just to feel closer to them, because it's really hard being so far away.
My parents are very vulnerable, so I haven't seen them in nearly 3 months now. And it was really hard. It's really hard not seeing your friends and family.
We were still working towards our dissertation and waiting for it to be released, and then it was released, and it was really exciting, and that was a moment that I was able to be excited about what we'd been working towards, and finally feel some sort of completion, because we're able to have our dissertation put out there and people were able to see it.
I have heard of magic stories, different worlds and lands full of colourful creatures, pirate ships on the frozen, upturned sea, friends in spaceships exploring with me, men who paint trees red with blood, and women who save lives in the angry flood. I can have fun, playing swords under the sun, typing away and letting my imagination run, chasing cats, trying on hats, movies, food, time with the family. I can play Dungeons and Dragons, record whatever I want, and meet people over the other side of the planet. I can make music, fuse it with story, and the more he worked, there was something that lurked just behind this window, and then... And just like that, with a violent and cruel bat, life just knocked off his hi-hat and reminded him of that. Someday soon, on the horizon, his friends await him, and he awaits them. I think that'll do for a magic story.
I went from being from quite an enclosed area of Essex to meeting people from all over the place with different backgrounds, and it was quite difficult coming home back to this confined place.
Yeah, you kind of have to adjust. like coming back into my old room, it's just it doesn't quite feel like home. I feel like as a person I've grown so much in Northampton that to come back here you just you feel like you're going backwards even though you're not. In these past few weeks I've been feeling a bit down. I've just got progressively worse as the lockdown has gone on.
I just want to lay on my bed and not do anything. I don't have to be productive. I don't have to learn a new language and write a novel or, do anything mad in lockdown. I just have to survive.
I've got real people around me who are grieving real losses, and that doesn't make my loss any less or any more invalid at all. That's not what I'm saying. but it's put my mortality and my family's mortality into perspective.
So many friends who had made amazing creative works, who'd released things to the public, who were like, hey, come look at this, who'd been using their time so productively and made such fantastic things. And I felt like that was a massive high-speed train of creativity that just never stopped at my stop, so I couldn't get on.
Only up until recently I was being productive pretty much every day, all day. I felt like I needed to be accomplishing something, which is a problem I have. I feel like I am, but I feel like I'm always catching up.
It was, I need to, make sure I'm known out there and people see my work, and that was weird.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No! It's Eagle Eye Archery. Yes, that's right, Eagle Eye Archery. I'm Crazy Eagle Johnson. Come on down to Eagle Eye Archery today. We got prices slicing down. We got bows, we got arrows, we got enough power to make Grandma swoon. Come on down now, my wife is making pie for everybody. Come to Eagle Eye Archery and get shooting. That's right, Eagle Eye Archery. You heard it here first, folks. Eagle Eye Archery. But I'm not done yet! If you come this weekend, I'll give you a free tour of my perch. That's right, my perch. And we can go to the allotment together and harvest some bees. Yes, bees. Come to Eagle Eye Archery today and get your bows and your beans.
Beans are not included. APR is only applicable on Tuesdays. My wife's pie tastes like ass. PPR not included.
Hello. Welcome to Cook TV. So today I'm going to be making you a vegan spaghetti bolognese. Now what you need to do is you need to get your knife and you're going to chop your onion in half. And next what you want to do is you want to dice it, okay? It may make your eyes sting for a little bit, but that's fine. It may make you cry. That's fine. Now once you've got your onion, you are going to get a saucepan with some oil and you're going to heat it. It's fine. Your hands will smell like garlic for the rest of the month, but it's worth it. Definitely. It looks like real meat, but it's not. Delicious. Grab it. Twist. Let's go. Voila.
Away, I've been far away, but I'll keep running just to find a way to you. Till then, I've been running from it
Tired of running from it, scared of feeling something. I'm stuck and trying to get up out of this hole. I've tried to be.
You take for granted the creaky floorboards, toilet paper duty, ruined lentil burgers, the marching band bringing the morning ritual. There's no music blasting until 2 a.m, or bickers over the cleaning rota. I've stopped standing on chairs, belting Elton John with Prosecco in my hand. I've stopped sharing movie soundtrack playlists. I haven't used the words Evan Almighty as a witty comeback or caved into watching Twilight. Why do I miss the steep staircase? Why do I miss sheets draped over banisters? Why do I miss being the misery guts living down the hall? You forget the home you build out of long rehearsals and hangovers, out of running lines and roast dinners, out of adventure and Netflix binges. You forget the foundations. The first week, solidarity and puking and being late. The same icebreaker games celebrating your new identity. Hi, I'm Fresher. I hear you are too. Clink clink to our new beginning. How do we not learn our lesson? When Spoons was close, we mourned. We yearned for curry top chips and Blue Lagoon pictures, but when it came back to us, we cheered and then went home again. So, I solemnly swear to always try to remember, so that when we do return, one day, we will cheer, but we will also love and embrace and reminisce. We will just take it all in, so that when we leave, we never really left.
You know, I'm also looking forward to see what happens next with people. You know, I can't wait to see what people get up to in the next 4 years, see where people is, see what stuff they've done, and hopefully stay in contact with everyone.
I guess some good things have come out of this lockdown. I think I'm closer with my parents now.
I cannot imagine a world where I can't just hug people and kiss them whenever I want and touch them and massage them and caress them. Because that's me. No one knew what was going to happen and we're all in it together.
Before I'd wake up and I'd be like, oh, we're going to the pub tonight. Oh, do I want to? And now I'm like, oh my God, we're going to have a 5-minute Zoom call about a presentation. Amazing.
My anxiety is loving this excuse to just sit around and do nothing.
I'd be on these uni calls and then I'd come off them and then I'd go sit in the garden and have a cup of tea, and it seems that having a cup of tea is really, really nice. I was able to spend time with my family, which is really nice.
I've gotten fat. Fuck me. I've put on a lot of weight over lockdown. I've never been this big. I was putting on weight anyway, but Jesus Christ.
Something like this can't be resolved right now.
I hope in the end more good will come out of it. I hope we'll have a substantial amount of good. We'll cherish our friends and our health and our family and our jobs and our freedom a lot more. And I think in the end we'll be okay. I think at the end of all of this, we'll be okay.